Hey everyone, Mary of Innergizing Reiki and Soul Healing today with a separate animal Reiki video. If you're unfamiliar with animal Reiki or Reiki in general, I'm going to steer you toward my video called What is Reiki and How It Works, and then the separate video called Animal Reiki, so you get a better understanding of what Reiki is, what animal Reiki is, all of the things that it can benefit humans and animals. But this video is designed specifically for those people who have careers that deal with animals, that involve animals, or that have a special connection between an animal, like a support animal. Things like the police canine and their handler. The animals, the dogs that do the sniffing, right? Whether you're sniffing for bombs or drugs or unfortunately human remains, right? Things like that. You've got them and their handlers. You've got veterinarians and everybody that works in a vet office. You've got shelters, you've got fosters, you've got trainers, you've got people who work in a lab doing maybe research on animals, anybody that owns or works on a farm or a ranch. They could certainly benefit from this. Anybody, of course, who works in zoos could certainly benefit from this. Anybody who works with or breeds animals, I should say, breeds animals for show or for food, right? If you're in that breeding for food or for slaughter business, this video is for you. This energy is for you. I'd like to share, before I get into any of this specifics about this, I'd like to share a personal story that it really relates in how and shares how deep this energy can heal. So I had a dog from 1995 to 2006. Her name was Maggie. She was the love of my life up till then, and we had 11 years together, and due to she wasn't sick come the end, it was just due to circumstances beyond my control. There was one day where I had a few hours that it was quality over quantity of life, and I had to make that horrible decision. So I made the decision to put her down in 2006. You get my first Reiki placement, my first energy of Reiki in 2009. Flash forward 10 years, I'm starting my own business. I've got 2 more Reiki energies under my belt. I'm starting to give Reiki to animals as clients and humans. Never once in that whole 10, 11-year period did I think about giving Reiki to Maggie. And yes, you can give Reiki distantly. You can give it to those who have passed. You can check out how distant Reiki works, that video, for more information. But never once did I think about it, because although I could think about her and talk about her and remember her, it was when that memory of that last day came in, I had to back away. I had to think of something unrelated because I didn't want to go there because the guilt was so horrible. Not so much grief as the guilt. So here we are, 2023, and I'm becoming a level 1, 2, and master. I'm taking classes in what's called the Tree of Life Reiki energy, which is an animal energy. It's given to us by the Divine Animal Kingdom, and by us I mean humanity, by the Divine Animal Kingdom. It's wonderful. So I'm in class, I'm receiving one of the experiences, and I feel this spontaneous release from my heart chakra. I have no idea at the time what is actually being released, but I just know that it was heavy and it felt good to have it gone. Later on in the class, I was made aware that with one of my intuitive instructors that it happened to be this guilt, 17 years of guilt and grief relating to Maggie's passing. Which of course made me sob like a baby, but it was a good, healthy sob, and it was a release, and it was wonderful. So later on in class, then we're practicing with our animals. I tap into Maggie. I ask her for permission, as we ask all animals for permission to do Reiki on them. And her reply was, "It's about damn time." And of course, I laughed at it because that's just true to her form, her personality. And so I sent her Reiki. She loved it. It was all good. But that level of healing that I didn't know was, I knew it was heavy, but I had no idea it was as bad as it was. was gone in a matter of minutes. So other things that this animal energy can do for humans, in addition to things like this, it can alleviate all of our toxic and negative emotions relating to anything that we have connecting to animals since going back to childhood, right? Any animal that's come into our life that's left an imprint, we can heal that and make it feel better. But it can also connect us to the earth so that it heals our true, authentic human nature. And it can, I don't want to say change the perception of some people if they don't believe that they are part of the oneness with a capital O, meaning the oneness that humanity, animals, plants, we're all part of the same one consciousness. And it can help us remind us that we are part of the oneness and we are all interconnected. So all that said, the things that some of this energy can do for animals is it can strengthen that relationship between the human and the animal. So if you have an animal-human relationship, like a canine officer and their human handler, or a support service animal who is taking care of someone who has anxiety or is in their life for seizures or diabetes or blind, you've got that level of relationship. It strengthens that relationship. I do believe too that it opens up communication channels. So it seems almost a little easier for the animal to almost telepathically talk to the human, and it's easier for each other. It's easier for both to understand each other a little bit better. It certainly clarifies their job. If they do have a job and a task, like a police or a sniffing dog or a support animal, it clarifies that job, those responsibilities, their purpose in that particular life that they're living. But it also clears away emotions and energies that are not theirs, whether it is the emotions of their human in their household that might be in a bad place, and that human is just emitting anxious and sad and grief and anger and all that stuff, and the animal, in trying to help us heal, starts to absorb that, because that's what they do. The animals help us heal, and of course that's not their stuff, right? So part of what this energy does is it clears away all the energies and emotions that are not theirs from wherever it came from. The animals help us heal, and so this helps them heal so that they can continue to help us heal, right? So I'm offering this energy to everybody who has that kind of relationship with animals, whether it is a research scientist who's working in a lab, whether it is a one-on-one person who has a service animal for some medical issue, whether it is a group, like a whole veterinarian office. We can do the whole staff in one sitting remotely, and everybody can experience it together. A group of volunteers, perhaps, that works at a shelter or at a foster facility. We can do as a group online, anywhere in the world, anytime. So I'm offering this energy to that particular demographic. Reach out with any questions, any thoughts about maybe if you have any questions, and maybe think about, can this energy do this? Can this energy do that? We can talk about it and experiment with things like that. So please reach out with your questions. Innergizingreiki@gmail.com. Likes, comments, and subscribes, everyone. Greatly appreciate it as always, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.